It's nice outside right now, but we know that it's going to get a lot hotter. People kept disappearing. Oh my gosh. It was my dream state. There was lots of people, but they slowly disappeared, and I didn't know where they went. You didn't. And when I did see them, they appeared in big, massive groups. And at one point, I saw all these people. They were lined up by this great big old brick wall. Lots of men. I remember specifically asking, where are all the men? And all the men, all the male species, all of those who identified as a male species. Aw. Hey, Rosie, you look like a baby. You want to go in the house? I got paws for my little baby. Come on, Rosie, you can come in. Come on, you're a little girl. Come on, go in the house. You're a baby. Get in the house. You can do it, Rosie. Go on. Her can do it. There, her did it. Yeah, good morning. They were all lined up by a brick wall, facing the brick wall, big old cluster, probably around 150 of them or so, and there was a scragglies behind them. But they all, just gonna sound really weird, they all turned into gray horses, and the gray horses ran up the wall, and they were took off like moving the opposite direction. Gray horses. They were all like that. And I thought, well, that's where they all went. They were all by a massive brick wall, great big groups. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. Good morning, everyone. But they turned into gray horses. I thought, why on earth would they all turn into gray? But they did. It was. I woke up in the middle of the night. I thought, I'm not getting out of this bed, and I'm not going to do a video, you all. But they, in my dream state, there was lots of people, but they just kept disappearing. I thought, I don't even know where they went until it got there was very few people left. And I remember seeing the ones that I did see, and they looked normal, but there was like a part of them on the inside that was truly was missing. They were not their normal selves. They couldn't remember. I'm wondering if there's anything going on in the house. Hold on a second. Are we back? What did you hear? Did you hear about the people disappearing and turning and forgetting parts of themselves? I mean, they appeared normal, but it was like parts of their memory was gone. Yeah, we're back. Hello there, Super Rainbow Queen. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they were parts of them were gone. But these people kept disappearing. There was only a few. I couldn't even find any normal people anymore who were their normal selves. I mean, some were almost their normal selves, but just part of their memory was like poof, they couldn't remember. But the men, they were all lined up facing a brick wall, big old cluster, maybe 150. They were like not in a straight row, but they were clustered in a crowd. And they turned into gray horses, and they ran halfway up the block, the brick wall, like a red brick wall. And then they came back down, and then they went the opposite direction as humans. It was just too strange. Um, But they just slowly just disappeared. The people just slowly disappeared. There used to be a lot of people, but then they just slowly like disappeared. And the one real looking humans around their real homes, I know they had real homes and stuff. They were in color like I am right here. They had like, you could see the color of their clothes and stuff, but they just couldn't, they weren't their whole self anymore. They could still talk and they recognized me, and I guess I recognized them. Hello. Yeah. Hello and greetings from Spain. Let me flip this around, you all. We got some beautiful, whatever those are. I can't remember. Gina, it's because part of you is just fading away. No, it's okay. It's not fading away. It's not. I'm going to ring these wind chimes. I think I'm the only person who rings them until the wind blows. Yeah. Yeah, lots of greenery. There's lots of greenery here. I'm not going to stand over here because there's a spider web with a spider in it. It likes to bask in the sunlight, especially if it's cold. A ton of greenery. And you know, if you think about people disappearing, you can literally take it a step further with relationships just disappearing. What used to be was no more when all of this stuff started happening. Okay, listen. Remember that book? The Dinar Kuntz book with the windows, the Microsoft Windows thing, Eyes of Darkness. It really is. When I turn on my laptop, that's what I see. The 4 windows like the eyes of darkness. You know, it's really strange too. If you've seen this on your computer, when you get on your computer, your laptop, one of the either desktop, laptop, tablet, do you ever see like these 3 black screens that pop up on there really fast? I think they're the old DOS screens. They flash on there really fast, black, super, super fast. And then the Windows emblem comes up and your computer happens. The eyes of darkness. Because if you turn off your screen, it's black. It is. It's darkness. Hello. Yeah, in that book, it specified the year 2020 is when something attacked, this whatever virus attacked the people in 2020. It began around 2020, it said, and it's just like what happened. And they said, as suddenly as it appeared, it disappeared, and then it came back 10 years later. That time frame is 2029 and 2030. That is the time frame. And also is alien visitors, a visitor from outer space. This was a civics class that was taught to children, K through 12, and they were asked to choose 5 of the Bill of Rights that they would like to keep because this visitor from space, an alien more or less, was taking over the world, and you weren't going to have the rights that you had. But they used the year 2020, and that civics class was in I want to say around 1998 or something. I can't remember the exact date, but just the mere fact that they used 2020, just as in the Dean Koontz book of 2020, and the Science Channel came out with If Aliens Invaded the Earth. That episode, their movie they put out was in 2019, and it was a big black alien ship that was over the Earth. It was a documentary, I would say, and it had these little things that opened up its hatch. It was a big spiky black ship. Opened up its hatch, and these things came out. They spread all over the Earth. They formed a net. They were black pokeballs. They were hard as, they couldn't, the scientists, the medical experts, they were all over the place. They were attaching themselves to people. They couldn't cut through it because its metal was nothing like they ever seen before. and they didn't know what to do because it kept multiplying, and then it disappeared. If y'all watch that movie, it's really interesting. They disappeared, but it left with the countries preparing for when it would come back because they didn't know what would happen. They were preparing their planetary defense system for when that thing would come back. And it fits the timestamp of that book. It fits the timestamp from the aliens from outer space. And in the Dean R. Kuntz book, it says there was these tall white things, just like the Prometheus. No, that was Prometheus. It was the engineers. Good morning, you all. Please give this video a thumbs up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Prometheus, go watch that movie. Go watch the video from was it yesterday morning? Yeah, it has a lot of clues in it of what happened because the engineers were dead by the whatever it was that they created. And they thought that they wanted to use that whatever it was on the humans to get rid of all the humans on the earth, to take them out, to exterminate the humans. That book, and there was some other book also. And if you remember, there is that Lucifer case. I can't say it. And the Lucifer, the light bearer, the Lucifer case thing, something in the where you glow and where you glowing on the inside. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If y'all please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's good to walk on my porch. It is. I just walk on it back and forth. Let's show the greenery. Yes, it's really nice out, but I think it's going to be around 90 something degrees again today. It's okay. 90 degrees something today is what it was. Lucifer East. Is that what it was called? Simple dude, honey? Yeah. Hello there. Somebody, Hootie, something. The year 2020, and we did have something happen starting around 2019, and the Oumuamua came around in 2017. They said that was the last time that Oumuamua came. Of all places, it was picked up by the Hawaii Observatory and the telescopes there. There's something else, and we have the 2030 agenda. We have by 2029, the World Economic Forum said that will be enough time to bring the humans online, the rest of the humans with the 6G. And that is, there will be, by the time this thing, according to the Dean R. Kuntz book, the dark, whatever it was, with the windows, 10 years later is the time stamp. Well, it just so happens when that come back, 10 years later, in the year 2029, in April the 13th, Apophis comes back. That's the god of destruction, asteroid. Right there at that timeline. They say that the Oumuamua could have been a scout ship for an alien civilization. By the way, I'm going to be around when this Apophis comes out. I think it's asteroid 99924. It's god of destruction. And if you want to think about the rapture, you want to talk about the tribulation, the 3.5 years, and then the other 3.5 years, this asteroid comes back. It does. And they're going to send Ramses, the god Ramses, to, I think it was, if it was the Oumuamua or Apophis, they're sending this satellite or something, this probe called Ramses, to go wherever that asteroid is. Why do they have to pick the Ramses, the Egyptian thing? They got some nice names for kind of stuff. Sounds so wild. It really does. You all, you just tuning in. Welcome. Welcome. There we go. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Yeah, we got it. Oh yeah, if you just tune in, the people kept disappearing, and all the men and stuff. I thought, where'd all? I specifically remember in my dream state, where'd all the men go? Where are all the men? Because there used to be crowds and crowds of men and people, and I had saw this road. It was a road that led to this great big brick wall, and there were all the men lined up in a big old group, 50 or more, not in a straight row, but clustered together, and they were facing the wall, and they ran up the wall as gray horses. And I thought, that is so weird. How did they turn into a gray horse? All these gray horses running up the wall, around halfway up. Then they came back down, and then they turned around and they became men again. It was weird. But they weren't a horse. But they kind of morphed from the horse into the man, if that makes sense. Gray horse. And I saw my nose is starting to tickle all of a sudden. Hello there, Sarah Varahanichu. Thank you. All of these peoples that I've seen, when I was wondering where are all the humans, where'd all the people go, I recognized them. That you could see the color of their clothes and stuff like that, and they looked normal, but part of their memory was missing. It is a part of them was missing, and then part of them wasn't. It's like that. But what's going on? Something's going to come back in 10 years, and it would make sense for them to have the planetary defense system. Really, it would. It all makes sense if you think of all the sci-fi, if you think of the books, if you think of the real life. We're being warned. We have literally been warned that something's coming. And whether you want to open your eyes or not and look around and see that what's been in the movies, what's been in the books, the book is of Stephen King, Dean R. Koontz. I bet Stephen King wrote some books. Did he write books or movies? He probably wrote something that is synchronicity, has some synchronicity, whatever, into what's happening. Also, Stephen King. I'm sure, because he wrote some very dark books, I think. He probably got something about this tied into that too, you all. It's this world is it's got a lot of predictive programming in it. It does. And you got a new world order come. A new world order. And you've got the Economic Forum, one of the scientists there talking about the brain stuff. That if the technology of the mind, reading and controlling of your brain falls into the wrong hands, it will be the worst totalitarian regime the world has ever known. And with these elections and stuff right here, with the use of AI, the holographic technologies they use in holograms and stuff, they've been using it in campaigns around the world. And you can't tell if something is a deep fake or not. It only strengthens, here's how they worded it at the World Economic Forum. It only strengthens the digital authoritarianism. And because people can't tell the real from the fake, they said, but it's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but it's too late because the seeds have been planted. You got to get your life in order. You do. If anything's you're going to get done, you're going to have to get it over, because the world is changing and everything's turning, like, more or less. A lot of stuff is going digital. Everything is literally tracked. Hello. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming in here. And y'all, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah. They won't be smart enough. Yeah. All right, don't come on here and spam in your comment section. And don't use Jesus to spam, okay? You're not going to do that. You're not going to use Jesus to spam the comment section and break up the conversation. You're not going to do it because you're not falling for it. That's right. You're using the name of Jesus in a wrong way. You truly are. And that's not very respectful. Now let's put this back around you all. The people were disappearing. And you can say that about relationships. A lot of relationships as they used to stand, they disappeared. They are no more. Something has come in and literally the relationships that you used to have, they could even been lifelong relationships. A great divide has happened and they are no more. They're not. People have changed. People have gotten angrier. It's going to be an angrier world. Yeah, that's right. Relationships, boom, they're gone. And there's a lot of stress going on in the world. A lot of things are changing and a lot of people cannot handle the stress. We've been too in our comfort zone. People have too used to things being a certain way for years and years and years and years. And when any type of change comes and switches up the narrative, switches up our lives, some people cannot take it. They can't seem to function correctly under stress, under change. And there's a lot of change that has happened. And it's caused a lot of families to break apart too, a lot of relationships to literally break apart. It'll change you. It's changing the world. It's literally changing the entire fabric of the world that we live in, the world fabric, the fabric of humanity. That's what it's done. Yeah. People are losing their lives. Yeah, they are. People's lives are literally, it's what's happening. It's not good. It's young, old, and everything. Young and old. You just got to get ready. We got some nice green. I like looking at the green. I do. Are they screaming like crazy in the streets? Ka? Wow. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, just screaming for no reason. I've heard someone say they had all of a sudden, this is a grown adult, all of a sudden they just felt like they just wanted to scream. I said, why would you want to scream? They told me this. I don't know, I just felt like it. I just felt like screaming. I said, well, did you scream? No, I didn't, but I felt like it. I just wanted to scream all of a sudden. Hello there, Henry. Good morning, and Jennifer in New Jersey. Yeah, the sunshine right there. When I woke up, I like to sit right there and look at the sun because I know it's going to get super hot today. It's all right, you all. It can get super hot. That plant looks like it needs watered. It does look like it needs watered. There's a stillness in the air. Do you feel like there's a stillness in the air also? Like a quietness? Yeah. The screaming, are they screaming like crazy in UK, Sophia, honey? Um, Monica, it could. Yours was the worst because people were cutting all tree and trash over the place. You're welcome, Patience. They screamed and they danced. Well, I don't think they screamed the way that some people are screaming now because it's not a good frequency, obviously. Just to scream and scream. There's nothing spiritual to it. when people scream now. They just scream just to scream. Yeah. The universe is made for is to move. What happens in the UK? Yeah, absolutely, Yankee word, honey. It does. It will spread. It will spread. And I don't know if you all, you see that video last night that it called for a new, you know what? And they're all doing it. The whole world. They want a new order, a one order, and that's going to be that thing that takes over the world. And if it truly is some type of an ancient god coming back in the form of something, you know, real in this world, then that's the 10-year time span of the Dean Koontz book, The Eyes of Darkness. In the year around 2020 is when that Wuhan 400 struck, that Wuhan virus. And then 10 years later, it specifically said the bronchial and the lungs and the eyes of darkness on page 555 of that book. And the visitor from outer space, a visitor from space, was a civics class that was somewhere around 1998, I think, or 96 or 7, that it was in school systems, specific school systems across the U.S., just a civics class to ask the students to pick 5 of the Bill of Rights that they'd like to choose. And if they can't choose, their new ruler will choose for them. The whole earth, more or less. And it said America, too. There's going to be a new global order. And it's already manifesting. It's already taking place. But that, with the civics class, Visitor from Space, it was typed out in 2020. Is what it was typed out in. And the Science Channel, If Aliens Invaded the Earth, it showed a mothership above the Earth that released these spiky balls, and the same thing happened. They were black, spiky, pokey balls, and they were trying to break through these spiky pokey balls, and they couldn't break through the metal. They never seen nothing like it in their life. But as fast as it appeared, all of a sudden, they disappeared, and it leaves on the Science Channel the nations of the earth preparing for its return, because they know it's probably going to return. And there's a spider on the floor, and I want to pick it up. I want to get its body off the porch because I don't want to step on it. I don't. Just scoot it with a stick. Maybe it looked like a cricket. It looks like one of those cave crickets with spotted legs and stuff. Kind of looks like a spider, but I think it's a cricket. Rosie probably stepped on it. Somebody walked outside and they stepped on it. And it's got it stuck between the cracks. I'm trying to get this spider, this cricket. Let's get it in the mulch. There. Got it. Got this bamboo stick to get that cricket in the mulch. When you witness this, you pray to Jesus for protection. People of the world was waiting for America to rise up, and they didn't. What was it that we were reading? Oh my gosh, I thought that was a snake. Okay, it's not. I thought there's a little snake right there. Okay, that scared me. Okay, it's not. I think Rosie pulled it off of here. Rosie, honey, don't do that to me. You scared me. That's right. No, it was a civics. It was that civics class. A visitor from space. It starts off in the year 2020, and the alien person comes on there, and it says that we have people, we have our people in place. We already have our people in place. And that would make sense because that's the same thing that Klaus Schwab said too. They have their people in place across the world too. Mind you, this was back in 1998 or something like that, or 7, where they took over the world, according to this civics class. But the paper was written in 2020, and it ties into everything. They already got the people in place for the takeover of the world. If you look at the Left Behind movie, if you read those or seen those a long time ago, they have a leader that gets in. They said it all has to come from the UN, and that's what JFK said too. With his speech, they wanted a total nuclear disarmament of all the countries, and it didn't happen. All the countries did not disarm, and Bush called for it. The elder Bush, I think he did. And then there was Clinton in his mouth. And then there was Biden. Yeah, they want to... Oh, yeah, the Left Behind movies. It's where that Nicholas Karparathan, or whoever he was, he becomes the mouthpiece for the whole world. And he, from the seat of that era, controls the earth, more or less. He's the voice of the earth. And he's a young leader, too. So I'm going to go, you all. People kept disappearing, and the men turned into gray horses going up a block wall, clustered together. And as they came back down the block wall, the horses turned back into men, but they were gray. It's the blurred line. So it's a blur. It's a total blur. Kind of looks like the AI videos that we watch, the people in the audience. They got gray all over them, and like the Pentagon press briefing when Sophia sits down and the other people over there, they got gray hands. And people you watch on, when we watch videos, some of the people's hands are gray. They're gray. The technology took over them. I'm going to go. Thank you for your comments, y'all. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, join button. Hit all the buttons. Just because the world looks so and is so wild doesn't mean our lives have to fall apart right along with it. You can still keep functioning. You just got to change how you're thinking up here, change how you're going to go forward, and you better have a plan. In his heart, man makes his plans, but God determines the footsteps. Okay, you can say that. No, you don't let yourself be defeated by what's happening in the world. Don't let yourself get angry and disappointed and think all is lost. No, it's not lost as long as you stay true to yourself on the inside and don't give up. You just keep going, regardless if the world is falling apart around you. You can navigate these stormy seas of life. You can. The tornadoes of life, the earthquakes of life that rattle your whole entire foundation. You can survive it. You can, because you're a survivor. You wouldn't have made it this far in this life, and you know it. Especially if you went through many storms in your personal lives and stuff like that. You never thought you'd make it through. You made it through. You're still here. You can make it through this too. Not saying you ain't gonna run into obstacles. Not saying you're not gonna get hurt and scratched up and beat up and all that kind of stuff by the world, spiritually speaking. But you're gonna make it. So I am gonna go. And with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. If there's any other moderators on here, thank you. Thank you all for your comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, the join button. And don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Despite what's happening, it's got to happen. We can't stop. Some things we cannot stop. We can't. And since we can't stop them, then you don't need to stop living, okay? You got to keep going. We can't stop these things, but you keep going. Some things are beyond your control. Some things are beyond my control, but there are things that aren't, and that's okay. We're going to go with it. We're going to roll with it.